is awkward. I didn't know we were filming today. Hello and welcome back to another Wednesdays with Will. I'm Caroline Norton, and as you can see, we're gonna do something a little bit different today. So Summit Players Theater is not only a theater company that performs wonderful Shakespearean shows, we also perform those shows all across the state of Wisconsin in state parks. And something that we really love to do with Summit is go camping. It's a big part of our mission is to not only perform Shakespeare, but to really submerge ourselves in the nature around us. So today, we are gonna go camping. Now, on the day that this video is posted, the state parks in Wisconsin have reopened the campgrounds. So you are actually able to go outside and camp in a Wisconsin state park. But I'm not actually able to do that right now, so I thought I would teach you how to camp indoors, just in case you're not able to make it out to the parks just yet. So join me as we have a little bit of fun today. Woo! So the first thing that I want to do is I want to use my imagination and pretend that I am in an actual Wisconsin state park. And I happen to have this super cool map of the Wisconsin state parks. So let's take a look here together. We've been to a lot of these parks with the Summit Players, and I've really enjoyed my trip at each and every one of them. But I think maybe my favorite is Copper Falls State Park, way up north. So that's where I'm gonna pretend to be today. Let's go. Something I really love to do at the state parks is explore the nature that is around me. And since I'm inside, I don't exactly have a ton of nature that I can explore, but I have some pretty cool plants. So I'm gonna spend some time checking out my cool plants and being enveloped in this mini nature that I have going on here in my living room. Not only is it really fun to check out all of the natural elements around, it is also really fun to check out the wildlife in the area. Now, because I'm inside, there's not really any wildlife near me, so... Or is there? Alright, I've just had a nasty run-in with a squirrel, but I think I've made it away safe, and now it's time to set up camp. So we're gonna start by putting together our tent. Let's go. Now, first things first, when setting up your campsite, you want to make sure that you've got enough space to set up your tent, your camp chairs, all that jazz. So the biggest space that I have in my apartment is my living room. So I think this is a good size right here. So this is where we're gonna set up the tent. Yeah, love it. Looks like it's gonna work out just fine. Now, don't worry if you haven't got your own tent. This is also a really great opportunity for you to make a super awesome blanket tent, or a tent out of pillows, or the different furniture pieces that you have in your apartment. Get creative. You don't have to have any fancy equipment to camp inside, though I would recommend if you are going to be camping outside, probably going to be safer for you to use an actual tent. So the way that we put this one together is a little bit different, but basically with whatever tent that you have, you will have instructions. And it always helps to have a grown-up too who has used the tent before, or a tent before, and can help you put it together. I did it. Well, that took a lot of work, but the tent is set up, looks great, and now we're ready to move on to our next activity. It's gonna be... Now, we've already explored some nature, we have explored the wildlife, and we've set up our campsite. I think we've earned ourselves a little break, so I'm gonna hang out in my camp chair and have a little light reading. I encourage you to do the same. Now, I don't know about you, but all this camping is making me really hungry. And naturally, when camping, I want to eat a hot dog, but I want to still be able to roast it over the fire, you know? And it's not exactly safe to make a fire in my living room. So instead, I'm going to use my stovetop, because I have a gas stovetop, which means I can have an actual fire come up here and I can roast a hot dog over that fire. Now, if you don't have a gas stovetop and you have an electric stovetop, or if you don't have a stove, you can always boil your hot dogs, put them in the microwave, but follow the instructions on the packet, whatever you do. All right? So I'm gonna go ahead, grab myself a weighty, very important, turn on your fan. We don't want to set off any smoke detectors, all right? That's important. And now, I'm gonna roast my hot dog. Delicious. Now I know what you're thinking. Caroline, it's a camping video. We need s'mores. And you know what? You're right. So we're gonna use the same method that we just use on hot dogs to make ourselves some s'mores. But here is a very serious warning. You need to have grown-up supervision to do this. This could get dangerous, and we wanna make sure that everyone is being super safe. So make sure you go and grab a grown-up before you try this at home. Promise? All right, I trust you. So we're gonna turn on our fan. We're gonna grab our marshmallow, and you can see I already have my s'more plate prepped here. We're going to be very careful as we roast our mallows together. Alright, we got a nice little golden brown action there. We're gonna plop our marshmallow down, give it a good smush, and we're ready to eat. Enjoy. Hey, what are you doing? Give me that. Give it to me. Dude. Just like at an actual campground, make sure you clean up after yourselves. You don't want to attract unwanted attention from animals. Gotta go. Now I'm getting really tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up my sleeping bag in my tent. Open this up. Pull it out of the bag. Beautiful. Nice. Sleep long ways, just like this. I need some pillows. Perfect. Oh, yes. Got my lantern here. Yeah, there we go. Now I think it's time for a campfire. Okay, I'm in my tent. I got my jammies on, got my lantern, and I couldn't quite make a fire inside my tent, but that's okay because I found this really cool fireplace online. Super nifty. so I can play it on my laptop. And now it's time for me to tell you a spooky story. I'm going to tell a spooky story that comes from William Shakespeare's play, Hamlet. Once upon a time, there was a really good king, but he died under mysterious circumstances. He had a son named Hamlet, and Hamlet was at school, but he traveled back home to go to his father's funeral. And when he arrived, he noticed people were acting really strange. And then, one night, he saw his father's ghost. And his father's ghost told Hamlet that he was killed by his own brother, Claudius, Hamlet's uncle. And he told Hamlet to avenge his death by killing his uncle Claudius. The ghost of Hamlet's father haunted his son until finally Hamlet killed his uncle Claudius, even though it cost Hamlet his own life in the process. Hamlet never returned to school, and the kingdom was never the same again. Well, it's been a long day. I've had a really great time camping. Hope you guys had fun too. But, now, it's time for me to get some sleep.